please stand for the national anthem, which will be sung by Melissa Crowhurst. She is a sophomore choral music education major.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ring away, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Melissa, for that wonderful performance. Such a gift, and it's great to know you're going to be a teacher one day. Give her one more round of applause, please. Before moving further into the program, I'd like to acknowledge the families and friends of our award recipients who've joined us today. Your love and support have contributed to the success of those we're honoring. The older I get, the more I realize there's nothing in our lives more important than our families and our friends. So with all of those family members and friends of award recipients, please stand. Family members, please stand. Give them a round of applause. Also with us today are the former and current presidential teaching and research professors and past Distinguished Staff Award winners. Would all of you please stand? Following the ceremony, I'll spend a few minutes highlighting some of the campus's most notable developments over the past year. And now I'm delighted to welcome our provost, Philip Rouse. Please give him a hand.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, it gives me great pleasure to honor the Presidential Faculty and Staff Award winners. And I'd like to start with the 2013-2016 Presidential Teaching Professor, Dr. Madhul Suri. Now, will you stand? Dr. Suri, a professor of mathematics and statistics, joined the UMBC faculty in 1983. Dr. Suri is known as a teacher who goes above and beyond to help students understand both mathematics and, more generally, what it takes to achieve success in the academic environment. Dr. Suri's teaching reaches well beyond our campus. Tens of thousands of viewers have watched his YouTube videos on mathematics, and he has taught mathematics at artist communities. Currently, he is working on a cutting-edge project that will make math accessible to a wide range of students. It's an ebook that combines animated video, film, and fiction to simultaneously explain mathematical concepts in simple terms. He is also, of course, an internationally recognized writer of novels, essays, and short stories. Please join me in congratulating the 2013-2016 Presidential Teaching Professor, Dr. Madhul Suri.
Thank you. It's great to be here, and this is really one of the most treasured awards that I've ever received, simply because I really love being a teacher, and it's great to be recognized for it. And I know it's a cliche to say, especially in yoga classes, that teachers learn from their students, but it happens to be entirely true. So let me thank them first of all. I have some students here. There's my brilliant students, Sandhya Lacour and Rocky Foster, and Marcus has joined us too. And also my former PhD mentee, Badhu Seshayar, who is now a full professor at George Mason University, which makes me feel very proud and also old. And I also want to thank Jamel Jernigan, who's there from Woodlawn High School, who very skillfully showed me how to sustain a class's interest. These were like 8th graders that we were teaching Algebra 2 to. So we had some rollicking times together with that.
Get them all, stand. All the students, stand up.
Yeah, please, yeah. Well, these are all my guests. Jamel is my co-teacher. And Michelle Oshra couldn't be here, but we conducted a seminar together for unsuspecting humanities freshmen. And I learned from her how wonderful this seminar format is. And of course, my deepest depth is probably to my teachers and also to my colleagues. So thank you all my colleagues who are sitting here too. And one last thing, I'm really gratified that this award recognizes some of these teaching experiments that I've been doing, and I think it's great. It's a wonderful endorsement to go full speed ahead with this future goal and expand mathematical outreach to not just university people, but also outside the university. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mel. The recipient of the 2013-2016 Presidential Research Professor Award is Dr. Konstantin Vaporis. Konstantin, will you please stand? Dr. Vaporis is Professor of History and Director of the Asian Studies Program and came to UMBC in 1989. His research has dramatically influenced standard histories of East Asia in American coursework. Dr. Vaporis has earned an international reputation as a top scholar, able to succeed in a field usually inaccessible to non-native Japanese. He recently received the 2013 Franklin R. Buchanan Prize for Curricular Materials for his book Voices of Early Modern Japan, Contemporary Accounts of Daily Life During the Age of the Shoguns. Dr. Vaporis is known by his colleagues as a generous and effective teacher, willing to lend his expertise in many efforts meant to increase accessibility to his area of research at UMBC. Please join me in honouring Dr. Konstantin Vaporis.
Thank you. I'm honored to receive this award, particularly because of the company with whom I'm privileged to share this stage today. UMBC really is a special university, in part because its faculty are not only encouraged to be better scholars and better teachers, but are also given the opportunities to realize both goals. Because of this, I'd like to thank President Freeman and Provost Strauss, but also the various chairs and deans who have helped to create this climate and who have continuously supported my own research. Over the past 24 years, I've had the honor to work alongside many wonderful and talented people, many of whom are in this room. My home department, history, has remained a friendly and supportive place to work, and my colleagues there continue to raise the bar higher for teaching and scholarship, such that I'm frequently challenged to explore new directions for my own work. Lastly, as a historian, I'd like to honor the immigrant dream of my grandfather, who had the great courage to leave the beauty of his small Greek island and his loved ones to make his way to America, where he worked at the Open Heart at Bethlehem Steel for 30 years. And my own father, who followed years later and worked in the same steel mill while going to college at night. My father was not only the first in our family to graduate high school and then college, but also went on to receive his PhD in Byzantine history and to become a Greek Orthodox priest, publisher, and dean. From him I found my passion in the history of Japan, a rich culture that is not my own, but which has become an integral part of who I am. And thus I stand before you today among friends and colleagues in gratitude. In closing, please allow me to leave you with a poem brushed by the 15th century Japanese Zen monk Ikkyu. Many paths lead from the foot of the mountain, but at the peak we all gaze at the single bright moon. Thank you.
Thank you, Constantine. Mr. Timothy Lynch is the recipient of the 2013-2014 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for Professional Staff. Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch is Assistant Director of Summer, Winter and Special Programs and graduated from UMBC in 1987. And his commitment to student service since that time has been unwavering. In his role as Assistant Director, he regularly works with students, faculty and administrators to make the enrollment process manageable for all of those involved. Mr. Lynch has been instrumental in developing new ways to communicate with students and to ensure that they have an enriching experience during the summer and winter sessions. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Lynch, our 2013-2014 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award winner.
Thank you very much. I am extremely honored to receive this award. If I've been successful here at UMBC, it's because of the great people I work with, all of you, faculty and staff. I especially want to thank Dr. Martello and all of my coworkers in DPS. It's a pleasure and a privilege to work with so many dedicated and talented people every day. From summer and winter programs, a very sincere thank you to Lindsay Sarenbolis and to Adita Edwards, and a very special thank you to Beth Jones, who is not only a great boss, but more importantly, a great friend to all of us, and together we make a great team. Finally, I want to thank my wife Lisa and my parents Tom and Lena Lynch for being here today. Thank you, all of you, very much.
Thank you so much. The recipient of the 2013-2014 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for non-exempt staff is Miss Margaret Peggy Major. Ms. Major, Program Management Specialist of the Honors College, joined the UMBC staff in 1995 in the Library Reference Department. Upon becoming a Program Management Specialist for the Honors College, Ms. Major continued to provide valuable resources for our students. Throughout the evolution of her department, Ms. Major has been recognized by her colleagues for her reliability, her generosity, and her great spirit of volunteerism, which influences all of those around her. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the 2013-2014 Presidential Distinguished Staff Award for non-exempt staff, Ms. Peggy Major.
I feel extremely humbled to be given this honor by the selection committee, and I would not only like to thank them, but also Dr. Ellen Handler-Spitz and Dr. Simon Stacy for my nomination, Simona Simmons and dear departed Bud Cronoles for hiring me, the Honors College staff and its students members, the library staff, and the members of so many other campus departments too numerous to mention, but you all know who you are, and my family and friends for the love and support given to me during my time here at UMBC. As I prepare to retire in July, I can honestly say that I have loved every minute of being here. I am truly blessed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Becky. The recipient of the President's Commission for Women Achievement Award has asked that the award be given to the Relationship Violence Awareness and Intervention Program and the Green Dot Program. The Relationship Violence Awareness and Prevention Program seeks to improve the UMBC community by encouraging healthy relationship behaviours and lifestyle changes. The program is dedicated to building a comprehensive campus-wide atmosphere of awareness and support to help prevent intimate partner violence. The program works to ensure that our students, faculty and staff can be successful in their educational and career pursuits and as members of society at large. Since 2011, the program has developed an interactive website, poster and digital media campaign, launched a speaker series, and trained faculty, staff and students as advocates. Further, the Green Dot program is a key component of UMBC's relationship violence prevention work. Green Dot has educated numerous students on bystander intervention skills. The motto of the program is, no one has to do everything, everyone has to do something. So please join me in recognising the work of these programs as they receive the President's Commission for Women Achievement Award. Each year, the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland honours a very select group of faculty and staff for their outstanding achievements. This year, Dr. Tule Odali is the recipient of the 2013 Board of Regents Faculty Award for Excellence in Research, Scholarship and Creative Activity. Dr. Odali has many achievements in research at our campus, was a recipient of the prestigious NSF Career Grant, and has published hundreds of peer-reviewed journal and conference papers. She is known by her students as an active mentor who works hard to prepare PhD candidates for success, and she is known by her colleagues as someone who works tirelessly to make connections between her department and researchers at other institutions. So please join me in recognising the recipient of the 2013 USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for Excellence in Scholarship.
Thank you. UMBC has been a home for more than 20 years, something I had not imagined when I first came here as a fresh PhD back in 1992. The first and the most important welcome was from my dear colleague Joel Morris, and then from Gary Carter, who was my chair at the time as well. But it was Joel who asked me the only question during the interview for which I had no answer. He asked me what my plans were for the next 5 years, or rather where I saw myself in 5 years. I looked puzzled as the thought had never occurred to me. Planning or thinking about the future is not something I do. I rather make sure I enjoy what I do and have fun along the way. And UMBC has been wonderful in that respect. First, I was lucky to start my tenure at the same time as Freeman, and saw UMBC become more and more a place we are all proud of. Then I've been lucky enough to get to work with very talented and bright students, interact with great colleagues, and I have truly enjoyed my journey here. And as for the question Joel had asked me 21 years ago, I still would not be able to answer it.
Thank you so much. Dr. James Grubb, the recipient of the 2013 USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching. Dr. Grubb is a professor of history. He joined the faculty in 1983 and has been recognized for his exemplary work and dedication to research, teaching, and service to our community. He has earned national recognition as one of the foremost scholars of the Italian Renaissance. Dr. Grubb finds innovative ways to integrate research into his teaching in the best tradition of UMBC, ensuring that his students gain experience working as historians do. Dr. Grubb asks students to use materials that extend past the usual textbooks and text documents to works of art, letters, ledgers and diaries, often taken from his research work at Italian archives. Dr. Grubb teaches hundreds of students every year, and students admire his mentorship and passionate adaptive teaching style. So please join me in recognizing Dr. James Grubb.
When I arrived at UMBC long ago, this institution had no clear identity, was not quite sure of its expectations, priorities, or aspirations. My department offered a quick, crisp, and definitive answer to those thorny issues. We would aim high and in all fields at once. That is to say, we would teach well, for without service to students, why should universities even exist? We would be active scholars, for without service to the base of knowledge, why should our professions exist? We would serve our communities, why else are we citizens? That call to excellence across the board was and remains a hard charge, but I think a worthy and noble one, and it is a charge that I have come to realize permeates UMBC. It has been gratifying to see a long succession of young scholars, unformed as once I was, adopt that commitment. We are in the midst of another generational change, exemplified by the youth of Provost Rouse and many others on this stage. And I am confident that those rising into leadership and that those that will yet join the faculty will continue in UMBC's historical refusal to trade off between scholarship, teaching, and service.
Thank you so much, Jim. Dr. Nagar.
Oh, you young. That's really good. All right.
Absolutely fantastic. I put that in my CV, by the way, just in case. Thank you so much. Dr. Nagaraj Neerchal is the recipient of the 2013 USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for Innovation and Academic Transformation. Dr. Neerchal is Professor and Chair of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Dr. Neerchal has been a member of the Mathematics and Statistics faculty since 1986 and is known as an exemplary researcher in the field of applied statistics. Since becoming department chair in 2006, he has developed a reputation as a pioneer for educational and administrative initiatives. As a member of a department responsible for providing foundational courses for UMBC's undergraduates, his leadership has proven crucial to maintaining excellence even as enrollment grows. Dr. Neerchal is also co-founder of the Center for Interdisciplinary Research and Consulting, which has been a major contributor to learning at UMBC. So please join me in recognizing Dr. Nagaraj Neerchal, the recipient of the 2013 USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for Innovative Excellence.
I'm extremely grateful for this nomination, and I would like to thank my colleagues in the department and the administration for this nomination and their support. In particular, Drs. Gabbard, Sinha, and Zoe Warwick for putting together the nomination packet to send to the Regents. The initiatives mentioned in the citation are all collaborative with my colleagues. I want to thank Ms. Raji Bharadwaj, the lead coordinator for Quiz Zero, Dr. Saninder Roy and Yi Wang, who worked on the Biostatistics Initiative, and Dr. Stanwick, Deans Harris, and Mrs. Tayan Bharadwaj for their valuable contribution to the latest sensation, the Math Gen. I want to thank Ms. Deneen Blair, our Assistant Director for Programs and Finance, for bringing the financial discipline to the department, which is essential and enabled us to realize these ideas. Finally, thanks to Freeman for his leadership and the support of my dean and Provost Rouse for fostering innovations at UMBC. On a personal note, I want to thank my wife Chetana for being a friend and a co-conspirator on all my creative projects. Thanks to my kids Harsha and Siri for their love, my sisters and brothers-in-law for their support throughout my career. I want to dedicate this day, on my personal level, to the memory of my mother. She passed on to me her will to keep trying and never to give up. Thank you.
The next award, the next Regents Award, will be awarded to Dr. Suzanne Ostrom Rosenberg, but perhaps unsurprisingly, she's currently in class and teaching. And so what we would like to do is we're going to slightly delay that award in the hopes that Dr. Ostrom Rosenberg can be with us towards the end of the session. So at this point, I'd like to recognize the UMBC faculty whose extraordinary work was honored by a nomination by this campus community for the USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for 2013. The first is Dr. Rubenstein, Professor of Sociology, Anthropology, and Anthropology. Would you please stand if you are here? Well, let's recognize him. I also want to recognise UMBC staff members whose extraordinary work has been honoured with a nomination by the campus for the USM Regent Staff Awards. The Board of Regents will conduct the selection process for these awards later in this year, but I'd like to recognise those that have been nominated from our campus. Dr. Bill Shrewbridge, Director of the New Media Studio for Extraordinary Public Service to UMBC and the community. Please stand. I'd like to recognise Ms. Wendy Crow, Program Management Specialist in Residential Life, for outstanding service to students. Please stand if you're here, Wendy. And finally, Ms. Justine Johnson, Associate Director, Meyerhoff Graduate Program, for exceptional contributions to the mission of UMBC. Please stand. Congratulations to all our nominees. Now I'm pleased to introduce the recipient of the 2011-2012 USM Board of Regents Staff Award for exceptional contributions to the mission of UMBC. And that is Dr. Arlene Bergen. Arlene. Dr. Bergen, Director of International Education Services, joined UMBC in 1990 to build the university's first Office of International Education Services and to serve as its Director. As Director, Dr. Bergen assumed a wide range of previously disparate responsibilities. and her leadership has significantly increased the profile of international education at UMBC. Her work has ensured that international students and faculty feel welcome here as they join our community, and has significantly increased the number of students studying abroad and UMBC's recognition overseas. So please join me in recognising the winner of the Regent Staff Award for exceptional contributions to the mission of UMBC, Dr. Arlene Burton.
I'm extremely honored to receive this staff award for my work in international education. Frankly, I'm extremely honored just to be up here with these distinguished and highly accomplished individuals who've done so much for UMBC. I'm grateful to my colleague, Dr. Brian Souders, for nominating me for this award, and also to the students and the faculty members who wrote on my behalf. I truly appreciate it. I'm especially grateful to Dr. Tony Morera for his support of our international student initiatives over the years, and also for his guidance and support of our study abroad program efforts. Thank you, Tony. I want to acknowledge the staff of the IES office. These are folks who are superb at what they do, absolutely passionate about their work, and always looking for ways to improve the services that they provide for students. Arthur, Katie, Brian, Michelle, and Ryan, thank you for being such outstanding, innovative professionals. You guys are truly a joy to work with. Certainly, there are still many things to be done in order to help new international students feel properly welcomed and acclimated to their new environment. And also on an ongoing basis throughout their stay, to make sure that they have the services that they need and that they feel a part of our community. We also need to continue to support and enable greater numbers of students across the disciplines to study abroad. It is so important for our graduates to have the global perspective and intercultural skills necessary to flourish and be successful in today's interconnected world. So though we still have much work to do, we have made great strides towards the internationalization of the university and enhancing its global reach. And I'm proud to have been a part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arlene. I'm now pleased to introduce the recipient of the 2011-2012 USM Board of Regents Staff Award for exceptional contributions to the mission of UMBC, Ms. Janet Magruder. Ms. Magruder, Business Manager, Center for Art, Design and Visual Culture, began working at UMBC over 13 years ago. She has an intricate understanding of the impact of the Centre's programs on the UMBC community, the Greater Baltimore area, and beyond. Ms. Magruder often handles complex, multifaceted budgets for a variety of public programs initiated by the Centre. She is known by her colleagues for a high level of dedication, integrity, and drive, and continues to increase the success and visibility of the Centre along with the educational life at UMBC. So please join me in recognising Ms. Janet Magruder as the Regent Staff Award winner for exceptional contributions to the mission of UMBC.
Wow. Hi, everyone. When I listen to that, I think, wow, I've been here for a little over 20 years, and I've worked in a lot of different places along the way, and it's just been a privilege to work with so many great people here at this campus, and I think that's why I stay. It's because I really do love what I do, and I enjoy the people, and I really enjoy the students. So I'd like to take this opportunity to first and foremost thank Sims Gardner for nominating me for this prestigious award. Without you, I wouldn't be here. And also for my BFF, Marcia Simpson, who came out today to support me. I appreciate it. Much love. Also, Miss Beth Wells for her time and commitment in interviewing me and taking the time to get to know me and my story, collecting all of the information that she needed to submit to the selection committee. I had no idea how much time goes into this selection process, and I think that's why we keep getting these awards, because we have great people that work here, and we have a committee that puts all this together, so thank you for that. I also would like to thank President Lebowski for your love and your support across the years. I was going to tell a story about him with hot sauce, but I decided not to. It was a good story. Last but not least, I'd like to send a special thanks to everyone who wrote letters of recommendations on my behalf. It wasn't until later that I received the letters back from Beth's office and had an opportunity to read them. And all I can say is, wow, are these people talking about me? And I just had no idea that I had that much of an impact on people and their lives. And so that really moved me to tears. And Jim Milani is here today, and he was one of the ones who wrote a letter. Thank you, Jim. I started here at UMBC 20 years ago, and it was my mission to somehow get involved and be a part of the community and to do something to make a difference. And what I did not expect was to make such an impact on so many lives. I am humbled and honored to be a recipient of this award, and I will cherish this moment for years to come. I would like to say, in memory of Lamont Tolliver, he was a really good friend of mine, and when he passed away, it was a tough blow to me, because we were supposed to have lunch the next week, and we kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and it never happened. And a week later, my calendar pops up saying Lamont Tolliver lunch, and I just lost it. So my message, and the reason I'm saying this, my message to all of you is, if you have someone that you love and someone who's near and dear to you, have lunch with them. Don't put it off to tomorrow. Have lunch with them now. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Janet. Now it's my pleasure to recognize Dr. Lee Hawthorne Calizo, the recipient of the 2013-2014 Jakubik Family Endowment Staff Awards. The Jakubik Family Endowment Staff Award honors an exceptional staff member who has contributed to student academic success. Staff members are selected based on their innovative advisement, success, and are selected based on excellence in teaching, creative application of technology, mentorship of undergraduates, and the development of new programs. As this year's recipient, Dr. Calizo, Director of the Office of Student Life, has reshaped the students' experience at UMBC by envisioning and then creating campus programs that support our diverse community. Under her leadership, student extracurricular involvement and the perception of life on campus has changed fundamentally. She has broadened the impact and effectiveness of UMBC's Mosaic Center for Cultural Diversity and the Interfaith Center, and serves as an active member of the Women's Center Advisory Board. She has also been an organizer and presenter for the National Conference of College Women Student Leaders. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Lee Calizo, the recipient of the Jakubik Family Endowment Staff.
Thank you to my colleagues in Student Life for nominating me for this award. I'm deeply honored for the recognition, and I share it with many of you who have been great partners with me. In my 12 years at UMBC, I've seen this campus transform. Our SGA has grown to over 150 very engaged students. Homecoming has become a campus tradition with record numbers of retriever fever. I've seen our Woolies, OPAs, and IHU peer programs have a significant impact on new students as they learn about what it means to be a part of this very special community. The Student Events Board and other student organizations have increased their programming exponentially. I've seen students take a larger role in making decisions on campus, serving as marketing interns, serving on university committees, co-creating major events like Welcome Week and Homecoming. I humbly acknowledge that I've helped to create some of this change, and I appreciate the work of so many who laid the groundwork before me. I also want to point out, however, that I've benefited personally as well. I've made connections with incredible colleagues across this campus. I've been given opportunities to try new approaches. I've had the privilege of working with incredibly passionate and bright students. And I get to spend my days with a team in student life who cares deeply about our work and the success of our students. I'm grateful to be a part of this community. Thank you again for this recognition.
And now we would like to recognize Dr. Suzanne Ostrand-Rosenberg. Suzanne. Rosenberg is the recipient of the 2012-2013 USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for Excellence in Mentoring. Dr. Ostrand-Rosenberg joined the Department of Biological Sciences in 1992 and has served as the Robert and Jane Meyerhoff Chair of Biochemistry since 2000. She is nationally recognized as an authority in the field of cancer immunology research. She's active in the UMBC Mark Ustar program and managed one of the first undergraduate research experience programs on campus, the Breast Cancer Undergraduate Research Experience, or BCure. Dr. Ostrand-Rosenberg often provides advice, direction, and mentoring for our new faculty on writing grants and on balancing our responsibilities of teaching, research, and service. She also devotes very much of her time to the advancement of women in the STEM fields through various programs and activities. So please join me in recognizing Dr. Suzanne Ostrand-Rosenberg, recipient of the USM Board of Regents Faculty Award for Excellence in Mentoring.
She was there well before 92, so she can stop by telling us what year.
But that makes me seem a lot younger.
What year did you start?
I came here in 1977.
Give her a big hand.
Thank everybody for this. It's really an honor. But I really need to say that this is not the kind of award that should go to an individual. This is the kind of award that has to go to a group, because mentoring is not about one person. Mentoring is a two-way street. You have to have people who you're mentoring, and they have to give back. And so I really need to thank all of the students, the colleagues, the professional people I've worked with over the years, because it's been a wonderful opportunity and it's really been a privilege to work with such talented people. In addition to that, I really have to thank the institution for providing the opportunity to be a mentor. I think without a lot of the programs that we have here, our support of undergraduates, our support for graduate students, and our support for faculty, we would not be able to do these sorts of things. And then finally, I really need to thank the people in my lab who've worked with me for many years, and I don't know if they're here, but Ginny Clements, my technician, and Pratima Sinha, who's been a research worker with me for many years. They actually provide the environment in the lab that allows people who come to my lab to be welcome, to be productive, and gets us all working together. So this is really a communal award, and I'm very happy to accept it for everybody that I've known and worked with over the years.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Now, before handing over to our president, I would like to just take this opportunity to thank all of those people who were involved in the selection committees, nominations, and those who wrote nominations and interacted with the entire process. Thank you so much for all of your work. And just as a moment, I hope, of personal privilege, I think this is a wonderful day to reflect on the exceptional efforts of all of our faculty and staff. In other words, all of you in this room today. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, everything that you're doing for our community. Thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lebowski, who will present the University Update.
Thank you. Some of you know that I am getting over the flu and I'm still in the middle of it, and so let's hope my voice, oh, can you hear me in the back? Can you hear me? Okay. You know, there are certain themes that come through as people were talking. This sense of humility, as Suzanne was talking about, the people whom she represents. The notion of family and friends, understanding we never get to where we are because of ourselves, but because of others who help us. The notion that our students really matter. We care deeply about our students and our relationships with colleagues, and that the work that we do because we want to make a difference. Give all of them one more round of applause. Now let me give you an upbeat, up-to-date statement about where we are as a university. You've been seeing all the great national visibility from NewSU News to Times, Princeton Review, Chronicle of Higher Education. It's really impressive to see that we continue to be the only four-year campus in our state where people say that it's a great place to work, knowing that we need to do more to give support, knowing we've got to find more funding to support salaries. But still, I think what people sense is this importance of community, that we're in this together and that we can be better as we work with each other. Let me give you just some great examples of faculty doing special things. We just launched a Center for Cybersecurity, and Anupam Yoshi is serving as a director. It's an interdisciplinary program involving faculty across departments, from public policy to computer science, electrical engineering, physics, IT, math, and stat. And then Alan Sherman and Rick Forno just got a major grant, $2.5 million, to increase the number of cybersecurity scholarships from the National Science Foundation. And West Bush and Northrop Grumman just gave us $1 million to produce more women cybersecurity experts. The fact is that when you look at the cybersecurity competition every year across the Baltimore-Washington corridor, for high school students, for college students and grad students, for professionals, not even 1% are women. So we need to be one of those players in helping more people of color and women to get into those fields, not just because of issues of intelligence, but cybersecurity will be mattering across our sectors, from the financial sector to the healthcare. And interestingly enough, we've just gotten great news in recent months for the new master's program in technologies and literature in our English department, which is now accepting its first applicants, and Lucille McCarthy has agreed to be the graduate program director. We have just introduced a new certificate program in music entrepreneurship in collaboration with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, and Christine Yerkscheit is directing that program. We're also very excited about a new global studies program that will begin this fall, directed by Devin Haggerty. The program combines coursework in 12 departments and programs in the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. Let me give you just a few examples of awards of faculty. We'd be here all day if I went through all of them. Eric Dyer from Visual Arts just received a Guggenheim Fellowship. Really impressive. Bruce Waltz from Emergency Health Services just received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Association of EMS Educators. Tyson King Meadows in Political Science was named an American Political Science Association Congressional Fellow. Jessica Berman in English received a Teaching and Research Fellowship from the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation. Rebecca Bowling in History, as many of you know, was named Director of the International Tracing Service, which serves Holocaust victims and their families through archival documentation. Ray Hoff in Physics was awarded NASA's Distinguished Public Service Medal, and Halal Kargupta in Computer Science just received the 10-year Highest Impact Award from IIIE and the International Data Mining Conference. We have received a number of amazing applications for the innovation grants, and the award winners, that famous math gem from Nagaraj, very creative, and then another one involving active computing, teaching, and innovation. That was a team led by Marie Desjardins in computer science and electrical engineering, which will create an active, dynamic laptop laboratory to support innovation in computing courses. And then a fascinating, something called the Wisdom Institute, a team led by Craig Saper in LLC, Language, Literacy, and Culture, that will create an institute to expand the role for emeritus professors at UMBC. And then finally, putting students' language skills to work by Suzanne Sutton in Modern Languages and Linguistics and Intercultural Communications will develop a new experiential and service learning course requirement for undergraduates studying German. Two more. The service learning in statics, with a team led by Ann Spence in mechanical engineering, will develop new service learning requirements for undergraduates studying mechanical engineering with a special focus on identifying components that increase retention and success of students. And then Bruce in EHS, it will be leading a team to integrate individual cameras into EHS, Emergency Health Services exercises, so the students can receive more personalized and immediate feedback on their performance. We've got 7 students who are finalists for the Fulbright. We've just learned 3 have already gotten it. We're waiting to hear from 4 others, but it's very impressive to hear that. Large numbers of students are getting the Teach for America offers and are planning to teach, which is very impressive. Charlotte Kennetston, an imaging and digital arts graduate student, was just selected for Maryland's Art Place's 30 Creative Minds Under 30. The chess team again tied for first place. In athletics, we did really well in soccer, making it into the NCAA, losing in the second round to Chapel Hill. And Lim Paddock, the captain of that team, very impressive young man from England, just received the prestigious NCAA Fall Sports Postgraduate Scholarship and All-American Award. He'll be coming back to do graduate work in Asian Studies. 7 members of the men's and women's swimming and diving teams have been named to the American East All-Academic Team. And Mohammed Hussein from Egypt on the swimming team is right now, has just qualified for the 2013 NCAA Swimming and Diving Championship. In terms of staff, we are getting more and more visibility for Breaking Ground, which is this initiative that empowers UMBC students, faculty, and staff as agents of change and renewal in communities on and off campus. President of Student Government has had a chance to be at the White House. I was really impressed with students and with David Hoffman when the president of Syracuse had a major seminar and session with other presidents and others in New York, and David and our students were really shining. David, are you here? David Hoffman, give him a hand, wherever you are. David Hoffman. That initiative on Breaking Ground is involving divisions and centers across this campus, and it's particularly significant that 24 faculty members have already received Breaking Ground course development grants and are infusing those concepts into their classes. And the Breaking Ground blog has now more than 25,000 viewers around the country. There are people writing to us wanting to replicate what we're doing. It's very impressive. Our BW Tech Research Park now actually has 100 companies, including, give them a hand for that, would you please? Ellen Himmerly just was just named as one of Maryland's most influential Marylanders, Executive Director of BW Tech. Very proud of Ellen. If you're here, give her a hand, would you please? Anthony Adams was just named the associate head in men's soccer team, and it's really impressive to see the stability in those athletic areas and people doing so well. It's impossible to talk about all the awards, but these are just examples of faculty, of staff, and students who are making a difference. Clearly, so many staff members are involved in national groups and are making a name for themselves and for the university. And finally, in terms of a legislative update, the most important news is that the House and the Senate are negotiating now on cuts but we may get as much as $7 million in increased state funds, in addition to the $3 million for additional tuition revenue, which will be very helpful to this campus. In terms of the capital budget, they have now, it's not officially approved, but everything looks fine for the completion of this last $30 million for the Arts and Humanities facility to be completed, I think, a year from fall. Many of you know we will be with construction in the entrance to the campus. There will be a roundabout. As you come from the silo coming into the campus, all of that's going to be changed because you may not know it, but I've had to say to the legislature for the past 10 years, every month there's an accident as you come down that road from the silo into the campus for the loop. Because of the way traffic moves, every month there's been an accident. We've just been very blessed that nobody's been killed. And so finally, the state got that point, and our wonderful alum, Adrian Jones, got us the money. Believe it or not, to put that roundabout in, it's going to take about a year to do it. We'll start construction in July. It takes $12 million to give you a sense of how much everything takes, right? But it's very important for safety. It will be the entrance to the campus. The other really good news is the governor, people like Suzanne Rosenberg, been here 30-some years, will really appreciate that the governor has moved up a building that we wouldn't have started even getting planning money for until about 2020, that he's moved it up so that about 2 years from now, 2 to 2.5 years, we'll get planning money for a new interdisciplinary science building. It's a $120 million building. Give the governor a hand for that. It's a really big deal. Supporters have been very supportive. You know, we're celebrating today the accomplishments of so many people who've been here 10, 20, 30, and more years. As I listened to Suzanne saying 1977, you think about that. I mean, that's just amazing, a 35-year career. You know, UMBC, it must be a special place because she's looking about that age, so it's really good. It's really great. But here's the point I would make. You know, you think about where these people have come from. I just happen to remember that Suzanne was one of the first women in grad school at Caltech. From Caltech, postdoc at Hopkins, just a first rate to a guy coming from India and then going to Carnegie Mellon. We brought people from all over the world here to this institution. When you think about it, the best minds in the world, faculty and staff, and you think about what's the significance. It's not about the buildings. It's not even about the national visibility. It is about the idea that we understand the power of education to transform lives. Whether talking about building the research and seeking the truth, or teaching people to think critically and to write well, to be broadly educated, to go out and make a difference in the world. When Tim introduced his parents to me, who are from Catonsville, and his growing up here and being a graduate and coming back here and contributing to this campus, and when his parents said, "We're so proud of UMBC," that's what it's about. When people understand this is a place in this 21st century that has people who care deeply about others. I can't think of a more special place in the world. Give yourselves a hand.